What's up guys, welcome to the channel. To start things off, I have an anime rap channel called Sensei Beats. I posted a few anime raps there and I will continue to post more and more. You should definitely check it out, your support and feedback would be much appreciated. Secondly, there's my Discord server. If you want to join an active otaku community where there are regular anime quizzes and stuff like that, definitely consider joining that as well. The links to both the channel and the server will be in the description below. Back to the video. I talk about overpowered main characters a lot on this channel, but this time, let's take it a little further beyond. We'll only be talking about main characters that are almost impossible to defeat. They're invincible. Sounds cool, right? And it is, yeah, definitely. There are also going to be one or two exceptions, so let's see if you can find them hidden in there. Well then, let's begin. The first one on our list is... 𝐜𝐡𝐚𝐧𝐧𝐞𝐥. Man, this anime has some hardcore ecchi in it, and guess what? The ecchi stuff doesn't ruin the anime's main plot either. Talk about ecchi done right. As for the main character, he's a 16-year-old guy named 𝐒𝐡𝐚𝐧𝐧𝐞𝐥 who ends up defeating the god of war, and from there on out, it's one thing after another. To put it simply, you can think of this anime as a parody of the Greek mythologies, or maybe some Roman too, I'm not quite sure. 𝐒𝐡𝐚𝐧𝐧𝐞𝐥 might have to deal with a lot of stuff after becoming the 𝐜𝐴MPIONE, but he gets a harem of his own, which he relishes upon without holding back. Honestly, it's kind of hilarious how good this anime is once you can actually start enjoying it, especially the fan service because it's just so on point. Charlotte. If being overpowered equals being a one-man army, then Yu Arasaka is our guy. He starts off as a messed up high school student whose main goal is to rise up the ranks of society by using his supernatural ability. And what is that ability? Well, it's very simple. He can enter the body of another person for 5 seconds, and within that tiny amount of time, he can do whatever he wants. Talking about supernatural abilities, there are countless different types of them in this anime. Like, they have literally covered most of everything we've ever fantasized or dreamed about. Invisibility, time traveling, flying, there's everything. Also, when it comes down to it, he doesn't necessarily care about anyone except for his own sister. Now, if you guys have already watched this anime, you know why I put it on the list. For those of you that haven't, you guys have to watch all 13 episodes to truly understand how overpowered this one guy can be. And trust me, this anime is well worth your time. It might seem short and straightforward, but that's what makes this anime so deep and interesting. Still, the last phase of this anime went by way too fast. I just wish they would have made it a little longer. 𝐜𝐴Tournament Children, The Unlimited, 𝐜𝐴 𝐠𝐵𝐭. The anime in question is actually a spin-off series of the main anime, 𝐜𝐴Tournament Children. Even so, the spin-off is much better than the main series. The biggest factor is obviously the main character, 𝐜𝐴 𝐠𝐵𝐭. He's the main character in this series, but in the main anime he's the only supporting character. So what's it about? Apparently, the spin-off series revolves around 𝐠𝐿, and he's an Esper. Many years ago he was betrayed, but now he's one of the most powerful Espers there are. He looks intimidating, but has a very kind heart. His purpose is to save Espers who are being mistreated by humans. He doesn't care if he has to use force. If there's an Esper in need, he will help them. The name of his group is Pandra, P-A-N-D-R-A. Overall, the spin-off series is a top-tier anime. It's fast-paced, has a badass main character, and some sarcastic as well as sad moments. Isekai Mao to Shokan Shoujo no Dore Majutsu. Every once in a while, there's an anime with an exceptionally good dub, and as it turns out, this is one of those. Well, not that it matters because those who watch sub would have watched it in sub, and those who prefer dub would have just taken that route already. Anyways, the name of this anime translates to How Not to Summon a Demon Lord. That's right, the main character is a stupidly overpowered demon lord named Diablo. He doesn't have to be nice, and he doesn't try so hard to get anything either. As a matter of fact, the moment he becomes one, he already has a harem. So how did this happen? A shut-in gamer named Takuma Sakamoto is the best gamer of a popular RPG. He is literally unstoppable. If that doesn't justify his skill, just know that he hasn't spoken to a real girl in who knows how many years. All he ever does is play this game. His character in the game is a demon lord named Diablo. And one day, a spell is cast, and just like that, he is transported to the world of this game. 𝐿𝐴. On the surface, this anime might not seem all that different from your usual vampire anime, but it is. The horror and action elements are on fire, the characters are good, and the plot isn't half bad either. Hellsing is the name of an organization who is called to capture a vampire that is turning normal people into ghouls. This was an important mission, that's why the leader of the organization decides to let the most powerful member handle it. This person is a vampire named 𝐿𝐴𝐵𝐴RD, and he's the main character of this anime. With just a single handgun, 𝐿𝐴𝐵𝐴RD raises hell on the ghouls. In the middle of it all, a young police officer is seriously wounded. 𝐿𝐴𝐵𝐴RD notices it and makes her pick between two different choices, to either die as a human or live as a vampire. Regardless of what she chooses, this anime has only just begun. Also, did you know that 𝐿𝐴𝐵𝐴RD backwards is Dracula? Overlord. This anime's main theme might not be all that different from how not to summon a demon lord, but the story and the characters are on another level, which is exactly why Overlord is a superior anime between the two. The main character is an overlord who got stuck into the world of a game that he'd been playing for years, but his avatar was an undead king, and that's the body he got after getting isekai'd into this game world. That's why he can't feel basic sensations that humans are supposed to, and that is also why he doesn't feel much empathy as well. To him, this is nothing more than a game, even if he is in it. If push comes to shove, he would easily kill millions of people without thinking much of it, or would he? I'd say if you're more into ecchi, then you should watch How Not to Summon a Demon Lord. If you're more into action, then watch Overlord. Both of these animes are pretty good. The King's Avatar. The main character named 𝐒𝐻𝐸 is a charismatic, intelligent, and badass individual who has always been a top-tier professional gamer. He played a game known as Glory for about 10 years and was even hailed as the battle god. He had become so good at that game that nothing could faze him anymore. His teammates made him retire because he was just too good for his own good. He starts working at a part-time internet cafe and realizes that his favorite game has just launched a new server. He signs up again with a new username, Lord Grimm. But this time, this game will obviously be different in its new version after all. After How Not to Summon a Demon Lord and Overlord, we now have this. It's crazy how many protagonists can just get isekai'd just because they're good at playing some games. I mean, I can play some games too, you know, never mind. Agurayusha no Aesthetica. Alright, so in this anime, there's some kind of syndrome that was discovered about 30 years ago. This syndrome allows people to travel to parallel universes and experience living there. Depending on the universe, the person can even acquire special abilities, and in rare cases, those people get to keep those abilities. The main character, Akatsuki Asawa, goes to a fantasy world, ends up defeating the Demon Lord, and then comes back to Earth with his daughter. And now he wants her to pose as his little sister. Talk about one subtle turn of events. Both of them join a special school that is for people who have acquired special abilities by traveling to another world. And yes, everything I've told is more of a side plot. The main plot of this anime is Opie in panties. Sir Vamp. A few things happen and the main character Mahiro Shirota is taking care of a lazy ass freeloader who just so happens to be a vampire. Alright, so this is what happened. Mahiro is the type of guy who would rather take action than regret it later. That is exactly why he ended up picking up a stray cat on his way back from school, and then another day he panics when he sees a strange young man in his room. He accidentally lets some sunlight through, and much to his surprise, the strange young man turns into Kuro. It turns out, Kuro is actually a lazy-ass vampire. He later forms a contract with Mahiro, and then later, they get into all sorts of messy situations. The strength of this anime is the main character. He is quite shonen-like, but that isn't always the case. Anyways, let's move on to the next one. K Project. In this anime, there are kings who can form clans by recruiting other members. Their main job is to protect the lives and property of their clan members. A video of a clansman getting murdered goes viral, and suddenly a high school student named Yashiro Isana is accused of that murder. After that, things only get even crazier. All in all, the story is anything but refreshing. It is tragic, deep, and thought-provoking. There are betrayals, friendships, and sacrifices. It'll definitely make you rethink your life, even if it's just for a moment or two. This anime is quite underrated, and that's exactly why I think you should consider checking it out. There you go, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. Be sure to leave a like and comment on the video. If you're new to the channel, consider turning that red subscribe button gray. I post regular content every couple of days. Well then, see you guys in the next video. Until then, stay safe, watch anime.